What's a company secret you can share now that you don't work there? I was a prison guard a decade ago and we installed some facial tracking software in the surveillance cameras. One of the inmates panicked while cleaning the unused solitary confinement cells, which is usually a desirable job. It's easy as fuck and nobody pays attention to you, and he insisted that he be moved out of that job because there was a ghost. The ranking officers decided to check the new cameras, and the security software claimed it saw a face behind the inmate at the same time as he was visibly startled in the camera footage. We're all aware there are mundane reasons why a new facial recognition system would think it saw a ghost, but since the inmate and the security software both thought there was a ghost, it was decided that the inmate should be immediately transferred at no penalty. I worked for a major hotel chain in housekeeping for over 10 years. The number of suicides and people who die naturally in their rooms is a lot higher than you think. I worked at a huge convention hotel with over 1,000 rooms, and it happened quite often. Unless it was a pretty gnarly mess, it would just get clean like normal and the next guest had no idea. If you pick up a wall phone at Home Depot and push 7, it activates the store-wide intercom. This works in every store in my province as far as I know. I worked at Petco in Alaska. Apparently brown/black mice are not allowed up here. Only white mice. We got a shipment in of a bunch of black/brown mice and had to take them to the vet to be killed. Also, the animals are literally shipped in on a UPS truck and delivered in packages. I would open a package and it would be full of fish or mice or snakes. You never knew what was coming. It was wild. Luckily, my shift manager was a really good person. She tried her best to help any sick animal and was super diligent about keeping the cages really clean. She would stay after hours to care for the sick animal in the back and double down on cleaning. When upper management came, they didn't give a shit how clean anything was. They would yell at us to get more customers to sign up for pet rewards. If I didn't pass through every single person checking out, they would get angry and give me point deductions. I have no idea what the deductions even did. One of the upper managers watched me for like 3 hours when I was at the register. He said I wasn't pushy enough on getting people to donate/sign up for shit. Bitch, I will ask once, and if they say no, I'm not asking again. That shit is annoying AF. He also got mad at me when I didn't clean the bird cage fast enough. It took time away from the register. I'm sorry, I don't want our birds to stand in their own shit for hours. So yeah, man, take my time to scrub that shit clean. Also, don't buy fish from Petco. Pretty much every shipment that came in, they were all infected with ICK. Basically, half our tanks were in quarantine. We had several customers come back saying we killed their entire fish tank because of the fish we sold them. Fuck Petco. I worked in insurance billing at night as a side job while still going to school as a physician. I had the hard job of fighting insurance for things like a 4-ounce bottle of betadine 5% for $300 that your insurance doesn't want to pay for, or life-saving services that keep people alive like transplants, cardiac surgeries, etc. Sometimes, I would be fighting for months on these things and they would exhaust me and it would get so personal. I looked at their chart, their story, their history and visits, and over the years, I have written off or just erased several millions of dollars in medical bills just because I didn't have the heart to let it fall back on people. Tiny 3-day-old babies who needed new hearts. Grandma who was only 50 who needed a new kidney. Papa who needed a new liver and new medical treatment for his condition. Twin baby girls who needed surgery while mom was pregnant to save them both. A husband who needed brain surgery, his wife was pregnant. A firefighter needing cancer treatment. I just paid it all, silently at night. All they received was a statement in the mail that things have been covered and medication/services are taken care of, like no balance was owed to the hospital, etc. But it was me. I just wrote it off. We used donations, funding. Certain surgeries had special services to connect into. Everything got paid. It just never fell back on the patient. I never met a single one of them. I just hope it helped. Inbound call center, there is no such thing as a silent hole. You are on mute. We could still hear you, but this isn't done maliciously so we can listen in. We had targets for hold time and putting you on mute instead used 0 hold on that call and brought the average down. Sometimes we were asking a colleague for input. Sometimes we were avoiding an awkward silence while the computer took forever to load. Personally, I did it a lot because I can fix your issue/account easier when you're not yapping in my ear with stupid questions. And also, I might want to call the last person you spoke to some very bad words for messing it up or bullshitting you in the first place. Comcast/Xfinity sells people's private information, including search histories and basically any traffic you use through their ISP. I worked there for almost 10 years doing direct sales and saw a lot of shady stuff. They are out of business now, but in the early 90s I worked at Radio Shack for a year and a half. When people would return an item because it didn't work, the manager of the store would just box it back up and sell it again as if it were new. When I asked him about it, he said, hopefully they will return it to a different store. I nearly got fired when I refused to sell a guy a walkie-talkie CB radio that I knew didn't work. The guy was on his way out for a hunting trip and was buying 3 of these for him and his friends. We had 2 and the third was the broken one. In front of the customer, I told the manager that one didn't work and I had tested it. The guy was happy. I told him we arranged for him to get the last one he needed at a different store and off he went. The manager was livid with me and nearly fired me. I'm sorry, I'm not sending people out into the forest with gear I know doesn't work. Hilariously, a few months later the manager was caught stealing from the store and got fired. This isn't a company secret, but I worked part-time at a Domino's franchise in college. The owner was, at first glance, a short-tempered, critical penny pincher who did everything he could to save business money, right down to watching over your shoulder to make sure you didn't put too much cheese on a pizza. Cheese is called white gold in the pizza industry, even back in 2002. But after working for him for a while, you realize why he was so specific about the margins. Twice yearly, he would send out generous bonuses in the form of money orders made out to his employees from his own personal savings account to the college students working for him. The check/money orders contained the memo line, "Keep learning." The amount of the money orders would be directly correlated to the profit margins of the stores he owned. The dude did legit profit sharing. After I graduated, I heard a rumor that he was trying to start up a small education grant trust that would benefit applicants of the Farmer School of Business at Miami University. But I don't think anything ever came of it. This owner also played favorites when hiring. Every single one of his managers was a former employee. 3 of the 4 managers at his stores when I worked there had graduated from my college with business degrees. All 4 of them had a small portion of their education paid for by Marvin Covington. Marvin Covington, Oxford, Ohio Domino's owner from Vevey, Indiana, died in 2017. That dude knew how to do business and do it right.